Hello, when you drop off your packages at the post office, do you not get a receipt? Question mark. I've got a question from Wayne Patrick. Hello, when you drop off your packages at the post office, do you not get a receipt? Question mark. It must come from when I do the fast forward stuff on the garage sale videos, play the bluegrass music and go drop them off and leave. Actually, the post office isn't even open when I do that most of the time. And even if it was, no, the answer is no. I would not stand in line and get a receipt. If I did that, I can't imagine the time that it would take. I know a lot of people have pickup and different things. I don't do that either. Long story short, we've gone through quite a few different postal workers here, and it's a little bit inconsistent. But at any rate, I don't stand in line, and they do scan them in. They scan them in like they would anything else. I've only had a handful of cases where an item didn't get scanned in the last decade. So let me know what y'all do out there. I'm curious, how many of y'all stand in line and get a receipt at the post office, or do you just drop them off? So let me know. Question from Kurt. He says, you mentioned cleaning out corrosion. I have watched a few YouTube videos on how to do that and have had pretty poor success rate on it. What method do you use and find most effective? Thanks again for all your knowledge. I do a baking powder, like watered down paste. Not really paste, it's more watery than anything else. It works okay. I haven't had any trouble. And then after you do that, I just take a little damp paper towel and kind of clean the whole thing out. The contacts are going to be, I guess, saturated in the baking soda. And then I take that in there and swab it out. And then I do it with a Q-tip. Then I take that in there and kind of clean it out. And then I take a dry paper towel and then dry it off. I mean, it's not perfect, but it seems to work okay for me on minor problems. I have a question from N1. Hi, can you tell me if I need a business license to sell on eBay, and how do I pay the sales taxes? So, good news. You don't need a business license to sell some things around your house on eBay, like you say here. And you also don't need to worry about sales tax. eBay is handling it for you right now. I got a question from Robert. He says he's a longtime listener and he loves the devotion we show to the viewers. Will you ever consider doing or offering a mentoring program? Other YouTubers in the business do it, like Riley Roots, for example. I learned a lot from you guys. However, as a 63-year-old, I would be more into your style of marketing and items that you sell, vintage stuff, etc. With your experience as a teacher, you'd be a great mentor. I can't see how I could go wrong here. Regardless, I will stay tuned for more tips and ideas for eBay. So, well, thank you, first of all, Robert. It's very kind of you to give us those kind words. My hat's crooked. There you go. I do appreciate that, and unfortunately, the answer is probably going to be no. To be honest with you, I don't think you need it, Robert. So ask yourself, or go ahead and post any question you want on here, and more than likely I'll answer it, or somebody else will answer it. And no question's too stupid. I'm a teacher, so trust me, I get some I get some dumb questions, but none of them are dumb. I was a terrible student. It takes me forever to learn something new. So I'll be happy to answer things. Getting in there and just doing it and making some mistakes along the way is the best way to do it, and it's a lot cheaper than paying somebody. In certain aspects of eBay, depending on how you do it, you may need some mentoring. I don't know. Buy stuff cheap, put it on there and sell it. So, I'm not being critical of your question, but I just don't know that it's necessary to do what I do right here. So, plus, I don't have the time, be perfectly honest with you. It's, I'm kind of juggling all this stuff as it is, and I love doing this stuff right here. I love helping people out. And I love finding stuff, and I love selling it. And so I'm kind of just happy doing that. But Robert, thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for the kind words. We appreciate it. All right, I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to switch this around a bit, and we're going to play Jeopardy. So I'm going to read you the answer to the question, and then you're going to have to tell me the question. So the question is clean the lime, or the answer, see, I screwed it up already. The answer is clean the lime off inside of teapots Vinegar and water mixture, then boil. I was talking about the sometimes inside of a teapot, inside of the Revierware pots, you got to go in there and check. And so I didn't say, how to clean it. So this person answered it. It's Jackie. Jackie, thank you so much. And I might just try that, although most of the time I pass them up if they've got problems. But thank you, Jackie. Question from Steven. He says, are there things you dislike selling so much that you refuse to sell them even if the profit is good? That's a great question. He mentions VCRs, DVD players, and projectors in this category. First of all, I don't sell too many DVD players. I mean, maybe DVD, VCR combos. I test all those out. I love selling those. The money's good. I don't think it's hard to package those things up at all. I have got away from selling. There's let me say three things here. One is a little ridiculous, but it's true. I would do it locally, which is hard to do here because there's not much locally except for a bunch of cows up the street, and now I got chickens in the backyard. Anyway, the big giant M&M displays that go in a convenience store, I've probably sold 6 or 7 of those over the years, and I've packaged them up and shipped them. Whew, that's not easy, and it's good money, and I'm probably not ever going to do it again. I did start the last batch I had. I'm like, I'm not doing this. So I did eBay local pickup, which is tough for me. That almost never sells. But I had somebody driving from Alabama through to somewhere in the North, Pennsylvania, I think, and they're like, hey, we're gonna stop by. I'm like, okay, sure. Sure enough, they showed up and I sold it to them. So, and I didn't have to package those up, but I'd still buy them if they were cheap, put them in the antique booth or something, but I'm not shipping those anymore. I still ship the old vintage lawn chairs. I still ship those. Those aren't hard. The purple ab rollers, you got to take them apart. I've seen so many of you buy purple ab rollers out there and tell me you bought them because of me, and that's awesome. They're good money. But you need to take them apart. Tell them in the listing that you're going to ship it, unassembled. It's easy. Take you 5 minutes to do. It's not hard. So you just take the little screws out and whatever. So there's not much I won't ship. There's a few things that are a pain in the butt. There is one thing lately that I just hate, and it's the old portable chargeable phones. A lot of them I've tested lately, and they're not working. And it's just a pain. Lots of different parts and keeping them organized. And so I'm going to get away from those. Unless it's one of the really good models or it's brand new. I probably won't do that anymore either. So, I don't know. There's one more, and I can't remember what it is. So, thanks for the question, Stephen, but that's a great one for y'all to comment below. Is there anything you just aren't going to do anymore? You're just done with it. You're fed up with it. You're not going to deal with it. Maybe there's a lot of returns. Maybe they're not working. Maybe it's just too doggone hard to ship. So let me know in the comments. Hey, I have a question from Deb. Deb says, hey, Kevin, what box would you normally use to ship a game like the size of a Monopoly game? So it's a good question, Deb. Now, the boxes are a little... You'd think that the order of USPS boxes would be like, the bigger the number, the bigger the box or something. But 1097 is the small... Well, there's 1097, 1092, 1095. And that's actually the order. 1097 is the smallest. 1092 is the second biggest of that. And then 1095, which makes absolutely no sense. I would take Monopoly because it's a thin one. I would take the smaller of the boxes and Frankenbox those together. So 1097 twice. I do see some people doing 1097, 1092, putting them in each other because one's a bigger size and it fits in a little bit better. So that's an option as well. But what I would not do is use the large flat rate board game box because you're almost never better off doing that. So I'd Frankenbox those two together. So hopefully that helps. I have a question from Jason. He says, Kevin, is there a video for when you sourced these in a man? Seems like you had 1 million to start with. The answer is yes, there is. I bought 1,500 of these to sell on eBay, I think was the title of it. And I had sourced them before, actually, but not in that big of a number. But when viewers started buying them, I thought, a little light bulb went on. I'm like, they think they're pretty cool. And they think that they're going to get things moving out of their store. So maybe I should go back and buy 1,500. And that's what I did. So at any rate, thanks for the question. By the way, that's on the Commonwealth Picker channel. So thanks, Jason. I've got a question from Spanky McAllister, which is a terrific name. He says, thanks for answering his question. I have another one. How did you end up in Virginia from California? I'm trying to figure that out myself, to be honest with you. Where did you go to college, etc.? Maybe just tell your whole life story. Well, you know what they say, Spanky. I'd tell you, but, I'd have... Well, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what, Spanky. You tell me how you got a name like Spanky. Spanky McAllister. That's a great name. And then maybe I'll think about giving you a little insight there. Does that sound good? I did play baseball in California. That's part of the story. We were, me and my brother, on a pretty darn good high school baseball team. Won a couple of state well, in California they call it CIF championships because California's so big they don't have, a whole state championship. They have 4, I think. 4 different state championships, CIF championships. And at any rate, my brother was really good, and he came on back here to play ball, get a scholarship. And I kind of followed him. But Spanky is a great name. I played ball in California with a young man named Corky Miller. He played baseball for a bunch of different teams in the big leagues, and he was a terrific guy. But Corky and Spanky, those are 2 great baseball names. Corky Miller's a great baseball name. Spanky McAllister sounds like it'd be a great baseball name, too. Thanks for the question. It's getting a little late, so sorry I turned the lights off. I'm about ready to head up to bed, I think. But I saw one more question I'm trying to respond to. So the question is from Chris. What is the program or app that you use to see the garage sale listings and plan your route? Is it universal across the country? So, all right. I use the Yard Sale Treasure Map. So that's what I use, and Facebook Marketplace. And I don't plan anything out, to be perfectly honest with you. I plan out like my first yard sale. That's it. And after that, I have an idea. I've looked at them. I'm not going to say I don't have an idea, but I do have an idea. I want to win the first yard sale. When I go to that first yard sale, it's a bust. I'm like, man, because that's my planning, and then I just start going. And I have a pretty good idea. I'll put a little... I don't know how you hit it. You hit and it turns into a number, and then I just kind of play it by ear. So hopefully that helps.